having a manifestation and energetic focused morning routine will change your entire life. I guarantee that. Hello, my esoteric bad bee besties. We are back with another episode. I'm doing really good at being consistent. Little applause for that. I'm proud of myself. Today, we have a good episode. I promised this about, I guess it was 2 episodes ago. I mentioned talking about my specific kind of manifestation routines, more specifically because I'm a routine queen, okay? My Mars is in Virgo. Like, I love a routine. I love some good, sexy, masculine structure, not too much structure, which we're going to be diving into some masculine and feminine energetics in the coming episodes. So I'm going to save that for there, but the right amount of structure where it's sexy. And I have so many routines, so many rituals. I see them as rituals. So we're going to really focus on my morning routine today, and specifically how it ties into manifestation. I consider my manifestation practice a lifestyle. I don't, when people say things like, when do you manifest? I'm like, what do you mean? Because we are manifesting all the time. So I have built a lifestyle around the principles of manifestation to set me up for success in manifestation. And ultimately, being set up for success in manifestation means being set up for success in your energy. So this is my routine that is very manifestation focused, as you will see, but it's very energetic focused. It's all about getting my energy on motherfucking point every single day before I actually fully start the day, before I come online, in the sense that I'm not accessible to the world before this routine has finished. Like, this is my sacred time. I treat it as that. It truly is that. It's very important to me. We will get into all of the details, and I'm also a detail girl. Okay, so I'm not holding anything back. This is why I wanted to give this its own episode so that we can really get into the nitty gritty of every little thing that I do and why I do it. And this routine has been crafted, designed, redesigned over years. And I feel like I have finally perfected it. Like, this is the shit. Okay. This is really fucking good. Now, I do want to say, and I will do my best to throw in the little nuances or the little disclaimers as we go. This routine that I'm going to walk you through is not necessarily what I do every single day, okay? I'm human. Things happen. Also, a really big thing for me in this routine and in crafting this routine, like I said, over years of trial and error, years of doing different routines, trying things out, seeing what best supported me, I found that one of the key components is really being flexible and allowing my intuition to guide me. So this routine that I'm sharing with you today is like the best way I could package it up for you. Again, I'll do my best to share the nuances because sometimes intuition will have me do something else. Sometimes I will feel inspired to move in a different way. So just know that I don't follow this like a drill sergeant. And that's really what has been the key of this routine for me as well. Like I mentioned, that flexibility, that sexy masculine structure, okay? Not the controlling, overbearing, like you feel like you can't fucking breathe masculine structure, sexy masculine structure. So we're going to get into all of that. So before I get into my details, I want to talk about why this is even important. So if you're somebody who either does not currently have any sort of morning routine or ritual, and you just kind of like get up and go, you just kind of like do what you can every single day, or if you're someone who does have a routine, but you don't know if it like really supports you, especially energetic or manifestation wise, I want to really get you on board with why having an energetic, manifestation focused routine at the start of your day is so important. And I want to throw in there too, there's been a lot of discussion, or, I've heard in my courses and my programs and with clients, sometimes people will ask me, well, Brooke, does it have to be at the start of the day? Like, what if I want to have my routines be at night? What if I want to do my manifesting, which I hate? If you've ever done this, don't worry, I'm not like coming at you, but when people are like, what time do I manifest at? When do I manifest? It's like, we're manifesting all the time, but I get what you guys mean. So if you're saying like, when do I do, like my alignment? When do I do my scripting? When do I do my visualization? Can I do it at night, right? Maybe I'm not a morning person. Maybe I have to like get up and go to work really early. Like I don't have a lot of time. I've gone back and forth because I'm always like, you do what works for you. Do what works best for you. And this is true. Do what works best for you. If you really are like a nighttime person and you wake up and you kind of just feel fucking good and you're just ready to go, and so you do your shit at night, it sets you up for the next day. And by the way, like I said, I'm a routine girl. So like I have my like morning, work day, afternoon routines all on lock. Okay. But let's say you just want to do, what you can in the evening to set you up well for the next day. If that works for you, fine. Okay. I think there's so much power to being intentional first thing in the morning and getting your energy straight. Then the way it sets you up for success for your day is unbeatable. It's unmatched. Because for me, and here's my first point of why it's so important, I see like a good solid, I don't know why I'm doing air quotes, but a good solid manifestation, energetic focused morning routine, like energetic hygiene. And we're going to get into my actual energetic hygiene portion of this as well when I get into the specifics of my routine. But just as you probably wouldn't get up and go to work or go about your day without brushing your teeth or taking a shower or washing your face, right? Like you have these physical body hygiene things that you do for the day that set you up to be presentable, essentially, out into the world, right? Like you don't want to go into your office smelling like BO and, not having brushed your teeth and having like eye boogers and just feeling not good, right? Like you don't want to present yourself to the world like that for superficial reasons, right? Like essentially it is superficial. It's like, oh, what are they going to think about me? Are they going to think I smell, right? Like these are superficial reasons. We have an energetic body as well. And I listen, I never leave the house without like showering, brushing my teeth, all the things. But I find it even more important to get our energetic hygiene on point before we face the world as well, because otherwise we're just spewing our energetic BO all over the place if you didn't get your shit together, if you didn't get your energy on point before you left the day. Not to mention, your energy isn't focused. So if you're working towards manifesting things in your life and you aren't setting yourself up for a focused intention every single day and reminding yourself of the focus of what you are working towards, the energy that you want to embody, the version of yourself that you want to be, the vibration that you want to be in alignment with, what you are and are not available for, and how you're going to move through your day as this version of you who's already in the assumption that everything that you desire to manifest is already yours, right? If you're not doing that for yourself every single day, you're wasting every current moment of now to plant the seed for the future that you want to manifest, because you don't really have this clarity around it, right? You don't really have this direction. Although you can say, yes, I do. Like I set my intentions with the new moon. Like I know what I want. I know what I'm working towards. There's a power to getting it clear first thing in the day. If you've never done it before, start doing it, because there's just this shift. There's this clarity that you have. There's this focus. There's this reminder that you have as you move through your day. So I truly see having this solid morning routine as your energetic hygiene. In the same way that we wake up, we take a shower, we take care of our physical body hygiene, I want you to start taking care of your energetic body hygiene. Not only for the other people, right? Like I said, so you're in your greatest and highest energy. You're not spewing like any negative energies out in the world. You're also protecting yourself, because you ideally have some sort of kind of protection ritual in this as well. You're getting your energy on point, fortified, locked the fuck in, okay? Locked in. So if Sally at work wants to come to you with her poor energetic hygiene and starts spewing her negativity towards you, you're like, that shit's blocked. Like, it is not coming through to you. Whereas if you did not set yourself up in this way, you're probably going to be taking on this energy whether you realize it or not. You aren't clear, solid, We're going to get into exactly what that looks like and how I kind of protect my energy in this way. But it goes for anyone. I mean, it goes as far as like my boyfriend. I do not want him, who we live and work in the same house together, I do not want him talking to me until I have like my energetic protections up, until my energy is fortified, is cleared. So I'm not putting anything negative out into the world, because ultimately that's always going to come back to us, right? It's like a boomerang. It's like a mirror. And so I'm not picking up on anyone else's negative energy. I'm protected. I'm fortified. I'm locked the fuck in. Okay. This, yes. So you're protected both outwardly and from anything coming in, and also so that you're clear, you're solid, you're focused, and you're able to make every day count towards the path that you have your sights set on, towards that vision, that dream life, whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest. You are making progress towards it every single day because you have your energy, you have your intention on lock. Another reason why it's important, and I mean, we kind of discussed this already, I kind of already moved into this, but you're able to move with this laser focus. You have everything at the top of your mind of the energies that you want to be embodying, the energies that you are aligning with, what you're available for, what you're not available for. After doing this for a while, likely have a practice or an awareness of the things that you're kind of working through at this time. Maybe you've spotted some reflections, some lessons in your life that are reoccurring that you are now working on and actively, consciously working on. And as you guys know, if you've been here for a while, you listened to the podcast, maybe you've been in my programs, you know that the universe likes to quote unquote test us or train us, not in this like negative, mean way, but really in this loving way. Our higher self, our soul is here to learn the lessons. And so when we are aware of like, okay, here's this pattern that keeps showing up in my life and I want to move beyond this. I want to overcome this. I want to start moving in a new way. I want to reprogram this neural pathway that's in my mind that my subconscious is just so used to automatically traveling down. And I want to be more intentional so that I can carve out a new neural pathway and begin to feel, be, act, move, think in a new way that is in alignment with ultimately who it is that I want to become and what I want to manifest, right? So we gain this clarity. I usually always have something that I'm kind of either really focused on in manifesting and getting my mindset around, or something that is maybe a lesson that's coming up for me and that I really want to have my eyes out for, knowing that the universe is really going to gift me. Honestly, I see it as a gift with these lessons, these opportunities that other people might see as challenge, but I see them as opportunities for me to choose to move in a new way, to think in a new way, to feel in a new way, to react or respond to a situation in a new way. So when we give ourselves this space to get clear on these things, remind ourselves of how we're choosing to move now, the ways we're choosing to be, to think, to feel, to show up now, what our mind focuses on, right? If you've always been focused on lack, but now you're really wanting to manifest money, you want to really set that intention, remind yourself every single day that you're going to be watching your mind to check for those old thoughts and those old feelings around money. And if there's an opportunity in your life that the universe gifts you with to act or move in a different way, to show up, to feel, to think in a new way, you set the intention in the morning, reminding yourself what you're focused on, what you're manifesting now. And now you have this laser focus and you're able to move like a motherfucking pro, navigating and spotting the lessons and the opportunities Whereas if you didn't remind yourself, hey, I set this intention and this is the thing that I'm working towards now, these are the things that I'm manifesting, there could be opportunities, there could be lessons right in front of your fucking face, and you're going to see them as challenges. You're not going to take the opportunity to actually move in that new way. So part of it is like a reminder. It's just getting ourselves laser focused, and subconscious mind loves repetition. So having this anchor at the start of our day, every single day, to remind ourselves, this is what I'm manifesting. This is who I'm being now. This is how I'm showing up now. This is how I choose to think now. Subconscious mind is eating this repetition up, okay? We need this kind of repetition. We need it because 95% of the time we are moving from our automatic programs that have most of the time been programmed by the time we're like 7 to 11 years old, okay? So these are old, they're outdated, they're dusty. We need the new ones. But we need to be conscious, we need to be aware, we need to have that laser focus, and giving yourself this time every single day to set the tone, to set the energy for the day. To think about, you know what? Sally at work has really been fucking testing me, and I'm going to show up different today, protect my energy so that I'm not affected by this. Maybe that's my lesson. I'm letting other people's energy affect me. I need to be fortified in my energy, especially if my intention, now I'm just like playing a role now, like just stick with me. If my intention is to have this large following and to be in the public eye or to become the CEO, there's going to be a lot of people's energy coming at me every single day. Maybe Sally is my lesson right now to overcome so that I can move more in alignment into becoming the person that I need to be in order to manifest this life that I want to manifest. Do we see how it all ties together? So you guys hear me talk about awareness so much, and this morning routine is a part of that practice of awareness. Third point and final point before we get into the actual routine is it's an opportunity to fill your cup. We talked in the last podcast episode that was just like off the top. I talked about like resistance and just kind of let what wanted to flow through me intuitively flow through me. I talked about that honey sap tree analogy. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely go back and listen to that episode so you can get up to speed. You can know what I'm saying. But basically, for a quick summary, this honey sap that flows through you as the tree, is your magic. It's your medicine. It's what you have to give to the world. It's what you're here for. It's usually tied to our purpose, or it is tied to our purpose. It's your golden honey medicine that you are here to share with the world. But we can just tap it out. We can just completely use it so much to the point that it's just dry. It's just dust. There's nothing left to give. And so having this time every single day to fill our cup helps us to prevent things like burnout, or becoming overwhelmed, or becoming stressed, or any other kind of negative result of, as I mentioned in the last episode, taking advantage of yourself and just pouring, giving, and never taking the time to fill yourself up. Like I said, we take the time to shower every day, to brush our teeth every day, but there are so many people out there in the world who do not take the time to care for their energetic body every day, if at all. And it will change your entire life when you do. I guarantee you. Not just on the protection front, on the feeling good front, on the filling your cup front and having more to pour through, but like I said, when you are getting laser sharp clarity every single day on where you are moving towards, what you are doing it all for, right? Like reminding yourself of the North Star vision, what you are manifesting, who you are becoming, aligning to that energy every single day. This is how you manifest. That's why I get so frustrated or confused when people are like, what time do I manifest? Do you manifest for an hour a day? Or do you manifest for 10 minutes? What if I only have 10 minutes to manifest? I'm like, listen, manifestation is a lifestyle. When you learn the universal laws, when you learn how energy works, it's a lifestyle. It's not something that we ever turn on or off. The universal laws are immutable. They're always working. This can work in our favor or it can work against us, but they are always working. If we want to get them to work in our favor, then we really need to have this practice of working with them and getting ourselves on point all the time. my morning routine that we'll cover now doesn't just stop then, right? It's not that like, then, okay, now the morning routine's done, I'm just going to go unconscious the rest of my day. It's a through thread for the rest of my day, but it sets me up for that. Now we're going to get into my morning routine. I do want to tell you guys a little bit about how my routine has changed. I did post an episode. It was probably about maybe more than a year ago now. I posted an episode of my routine last year, and I don't remember like what it was, but I do know that my routine has changed. Like I said, I've tried a lot of different things, trial and error, and I've really found the thing that works best for me. The principle is the same, right? It sets me up for massive success every single day. It gets my energy on point. It keeps me feeling good, keeps my cup overflowing with more to give, protects me, supports me, all the things, okay? The intention is the same. I think the most that has changed from it is really how I approach it, how I move through it. So my routine has become a lot more feminine and intuitive. I'm going to run you through the steps of my routine, but I want to make it clear that this isn't what I hit every single day. I'm going to speak to the nuances where I can, but I want the biggest understanding to be that I really move through this in my feminine, with my intuition on. This time in my morning is my feminine time. It's time to really let my feminine be heard and be nurtured. And I have more masculine times throughout the day, where I get to work, where I'm more structured. And I have, again, this sexy masculine structure that's like holding on loosely. It creates a container for me, but I allow myself to flow within it. So where before, and I think, I don't remember how I shared it in the last podcast episode that I shared of my last routines, but I'm pretty sure back then I had like 30 minutes of this, 15 minutes of this, then I do this for 10 minutes. I was very rigid with the timing of things. That's something that has really changed for me now, is that I move much more in a flow. Some days are different than others. If I were to wake up, and this happens to me sometimes, if I were to wake up and get downstairs, get my coffee, and then be like, wow, I am feeling so excited, and like my brain is just buzzing to pour into Scale, right? Like working on a module update for Scale. And I just have all of this energy flowing through me, just like wanting to pour into it. I have learned not to stop my intuition, which has been such a huge learning process for me and such a game changer for me the more that I lean into this. One of my biggest lessons that I'm working on this year is really fully like surrendering to the intuition. Where before I had all these stories of where it has to be done this way, right? Like, well, I have to meditate for 10 minutes before I do this, this, and this. I have created this life that I live now for the purpose that I could live this more intuitively guided life. That is such outdated programming that I still get caught up on, thinking that I need to do things in this certain manner, this certain lineup to be good, to be successful, to be doing things the right way, to be productive, right? And that is one of the blocks I uncovered with myself. I've mentioned this a couple times in the podcast. If you're in Scale, you read my vision board from my Scale playbook for this year, which crazy. Basically everything has manifested. Not everything. You guys are like, oh, you're traveling the world and doing nonprofit charities. I'm like, not that part yet, but we're getting there. Okay. But, if you are in Scale, you're like, what is she talking about right now? But basically, a huge intention for mine this year was to really live like this flowy life. Isn't that what we all want? Like time freedom. Or a lot of us want, not all of us, right? But a lot of us, that's at the core of our desire. That was why I wanted to start my own business. That has always been a driving factor for me. Time freedom, location freedom, freedom to read when I want to read, freedom to travel when I want to travel, freedom to work when I feel inspired to work. But I caught myself continuing to keep myself locked in this cage, in this like super structured way of living, which there are seasons where that lights me the fuck up, where that gets my juices flowing, where that is so good and exactly what I need. And in those seasons, I lean into that shit fully. But there are seasons where my body wants more of that flow. I want to really be in my creative energy, especially when I'm creating a program. I have learned that my number one vibe killer, the number one turnoff for my like juicy, intuitive creation power, which in my line of work is my work. That is what I do. Like, some people bring their suitcase to work. Like, I bring my motherfucking intuition. Like, I bring my energy, okay? I bring my embodied wisdom. And so I've had to deprogram from the, like, I guess, corporate world of how you should do things and how you are productive and the best ways to work, and find my own ways. And so I really encourage you to do the same. I've had to become aware of like where I'm still keeping myself from living my dream life, because that was one of my craziest realizations, is like, I'm living that dream life that I set out to manifest. When I first started manifesting, when I first got into manifestation, I'm living that dream life now. But I was blocking myself from fully soaking in the juice of it all, where I do have that freedom to wake up and be like, I'm so inspired to just like pour my heart into this work. Let me wake up, start this work from 7, work until I feel tapped out. And then maybe I'll go to a Pilates class at noon, or just do whatever the fuck else I want to do. And so I've really leaned more into that, have let myself move through all of my routines with way more intuition. Now, if you're hearing me say this and you're like, yeah, but that's great, but I'm not at that point yet where I'm living my dream life, where I have that flexibility, where I can just kind of like do what I want when I want. I want to make another episode that is going to be like a morning routine for the corporate baddie. Like, if I was now still working a corporate job, how I would incorporate energetics, manifestation as a lifestyle into every part of my day, from morning routine to when I'm at work to evening routine. I want to do an episode of that for you guys. I was meditating just before I started recording this episode, and that idea came to me. So let me know if you guys want that, and I will definitely be like asking you guys questions on my Instagram story when I'm going to record that episode, so that I can get a true feel for like what your day in the life looks like, so that I can really apply it to you. But I get asked so much how I live, what I do, and I want to keep it real with you guys. So a part of this new routine and how I live now is honoring what I've created, what I have manifested. And I manifested the life that I manifested for a reason. I wanted the freedom, I wanted the flow. But like I said, I also massively appreciate and respect the sexy masculine structure. Especially, you guys, I'm running 2 businesses, not 1, but 2. I am running 2 businesses, okay? You guys know I have Arcanum LA, my crystal jewelry brand, which we are in the process of expanding massively right now, like in so many different ways. So that's a whole thing. And as you know, I'm also a master manifestation and mindset coach, and I have my programs that I have been working on remodeling. I created them back to back straight for I think like 2 years. And now I'm in the process of recreating scale. So creating a course again from module 4 to module 8, plus the bonuses I'll be creating as well. It's completely new content. So basically I'm creating a course right now. I occasionally take on one-on-one clients, not as often. I prefer to really give all my time and energy to my group programs, because it's how I'm able to reach the most of you guys and help more of you with my time that I do have. And here I am on the podcast, right? Like, I have my podcast, which I'm so committed to really being consistent with and giving to you guys more here this year. My social medias, I have teams that I manage. There's a lot going on. So don't hear me say, you know, like freedom, and I just follow my intuition. Like, I still have responsibilities as fuck. I still have a lot of shit to do. I'm very ambitious. I have a lot of things that I want to get done and ways that I want to grow and how the success that I see for myself. Like, I'm barely getting started with the things that I want to do as an entrepreneur, as a spiritual entrepreneur. I'm just getting started. And so that requires a level of, you guys know that I hate this word, but discipline. I said it. I remembered it this time. Discipline, or the word that I prefer to say instead, devotion, and having that sexy masculine structure so that, one, as I said, I can show up as my best every single fucking day. And two, I'm actually showing up because I got shit to do. Like, I got shit to do. I, again, do my best to lean into that freedom, lean into that flow, really take advantage of this life that I've manifested and built for myself. I built this life of flexibility where I am my own boss for a reason. So I love juicing the advantages of that and really like savoring what I've created, because this was the intention all along. But I still have a routine. I still have my sexy structure that keeps me moving, keeps things going, keeps me infinitely scaling. I teach this kind of stuff in depth, in scale. So if this is like up your alley, if you're hearing me talk about this kind of stuff and you're like, okay, I want to know how to have a lot of that like intuitive flow and my feminine and my creativity leading me and guiding me, but I also have like massive dreams that I want to make reality. I want to be like a millionaire, billionaire, right? Whatever it is that you want to be, and have these businesses that are thriving and run teams and run businesses, or whatever your thing is. Like, you have these dreams and goals that require this discipline, this devotion, this structure, but then you also want to really live this soul aligned life that feels good and feels juicy. Definitely get on the wait list for scale, because that's what it's all about there. But all of that to say that I'm definitely enjoying this season of having a much more intuitively led routine, where I'm not about to go into this with you guys and say, okay, 30 minutes of that, and then I do this for 10 minutes, and then on the clock at 7:30 I'm doing this and this. Like, I have been there, I have done that, and that has served me in certain seasons of life, and I will likely have other seasons of life again where that serves me again, and I will sit down, I will record, and I will update you fully. Okay, here's what I'm doing now, and I'm just keeping it 100%. I'm keeping it real because you guys asked and I deliver, and you guys know I always keep it real with you guys. So, you know, I'm not going to pretend I do something that I don't. And I'm telling you, I move through this with a lot of intuition now, and it flows, it fluctuates. I'm flexible with it, and I will speak to those points as we get in. We're already like 40 minutes in and I haven't even started the routine, so let's get in. So first thing I do in the morning is obviously I wake up. And I now started waking up a little bit later. I used to wake up at like 5:45, 6 a.m. And since I've moved, I never adjusted to the time. I don't know if it's because it's summer and so it's still light out until like 9:30 at night these days, but I now wake up at 7 a.m. I'm usually out of bed at 7. First thing I do, my morning manifestation energy routine starts right then. So my energetic manifestation routine starts the second I wake up. Okay, I've mentioned this before, but I really made such a point to wire my mind so that the first thing that my brain goes to when I wake up in the morning is immediate gratitude. This can look so many different ways. Plug in your version of this. But when I open my eyes and I register like I'm awake now, the first thing I do is usually say something like, thank you, universe. Thank you, universe, for this amazing, magical day that's going to be filled with so much magic, so much abundance. I cannot wait to see all of the magic and synchronicities and opportunities and just everything that's about to flow into my life today. Some form of that. I kind of go on like a little bit of a rampage with it, but I just go straight into gratitude. And it has truly, over years now, it's been like, I don't know when I started doing this, let's say like a year and a half of like really intentionally doing this every morning. It's the first thing I think when I wake up. So my brain turns on and I immediately go to gratitude. This is key. This is so important because I'm sure a lot of you listening to this are like, I wake up and my brain goes to like, oh shit, I got to get out of bed, and like, oh my God, I have this meeting today, and like, oh my God, I need to do all this stuff. No. Like, we are not doing that. over here, okay? Like, I want to start my day, like I said, in the feminine, in that flow. The best way I can describe it is like my morning routine is one big prayer, one big meditation. It's one big just like bubble of like love and just like feeling good. No matter what the fuck I know I'm about to dive into that day, like I may have a crazy day ahead. I may know that like I'm gonna be working that day, okay? I may have something that I'm like anxious about that day. I really see this time as sacred, and you will train yourself to show up to this space, this container that you're creating in that energy, where your brain now automatically stays in this peaceful state during that time. And it's really beautiful as you begin to train yourself to do that. And so healthy. So literally so healthy for your nervous system and all over your body, I'm sure. So immediately go into gratitude. Stay the fuck off your phone as well, right? Like we don't need any external outputs. We don't need to see some shit on the news. We don't need to open a text that kind of like makes us feel a little bit off. We don't need any of that, okay? You will get to all of that. Know that. You will see the text later. You will read your comments later. You will see the DMs later. You will get to everything eventually in your day. You will. Why do we have to disrupt this time right now? We don't. So stop doing it. That's a pattern you're going to have to break. We all do it. Like I even go through seasons where I do it, and eventually it'll come to a point where I just need to be like strict with myself and be like, no more. So stay the fuck off the phone. The exception to this is, and if you're in scale, you know this, I do like to, especially when I'm trying to train myself to wake up earlier. This is like a hack. As you guys probably know, blue light, like from your phone, from a laptop, from anything, is like so bad. Not bad for you, but like it keeps you awake. So if you're like on your phone and it's 11 p.m. at night and you're on TikTok and your phone's up to your face, like you're keeping yourself awake with that light. But I use it to my advantage in the morning. So if I wake up and it's like dark out, right? Like I said, the sun's coming up so much later now, so it comes up at 7. But if I wanted to train myself again to wake up at 6 or 5:30, I would use my phone as light, as like a stimulus, and I would review my Scale playbook. If you're not in Scale, you don't know what that is, but I will just kind of tell you, think of like a vision board. It's way more intense and juicy than that, but you got to get into Scale for all of that. But basically looking at my vision board, connecting to my vision, and just letting that kind of wake me up. This is also something that I like to do, even if I'm not training myself to wake up early. This is something that I do just to have my first thoughts in the morning, where you're still kind of in between that state where you're like just awake and like a little bit of sleep, right? Your subconscious is super malleable at this time. So it's a great time for subconscious rewiring and reprogramming. If I could visualize and meditate at this time without going back to sleep, I would. I don't trust myself for that. So I mean, I have in the past, but like, I prefer this now. I like to just look at this Scale playbook, look at my vision boards, right? And just really connect. That light is keeping me up. I have it again on my phone. So the light is keeping me up. I'm not like dozing off because I'm closing my eyes trying to visualize it. I'm looking at it. I'm reading it. And I'm feeling the feeling. I'm letting that kind of be my way of waking up as well. So that's a major hack that I 10 out of 10 recommend for both subconscious reprogramming and to kind of like help wake you up a little bit. Second thing I do is I immediately go, and like I said, sorry, I'm giving all the details. I just like have to. I'm a detail girl. I get up, I go to the bathroom, I brush my teeth. I want to say tongue scrape, but I'm going to keep it so real with you guys. I do not know where my tongue scrape is since I moved, so I have not done it in a while, but I brush my teeth. First thing I have to do every morning. And sometimes if I'm feeling really tired, I will splash cold water on my face, or I will take a cold shower, or some days I'll just like wake up and immediately get in the shower. Depends. Here's the key here. Here's like the kicker. Here's the part where it gets energetic. Loving body talk is happening at this time. So we just did our gratitude. We just, maybe like looked at our vision board, and now we're going into the bathroom. It's the first time you're seeing yourself in the day, right? The first time you're seeing yourself. I make sure my first thoughts of myself are so loving, are so sweet, are so nice, are complimenting myself. And this has taken training. This is training in action, okay? Because most of us probably do the opposite when we pass a mirror. Train yourself. Again, your brain's still kind of in that state where it's malleable. Train your subconscious to start to imprint these new beliefs about yourself. Feel them as well. Feel this love for your body. Again, if I'm in the shower or if I'm brushing my teeth, I'm just lovingly talking to myself as I'm looking at myself in the mirror, saying positive, loving things about myself, to myself. And the key here is to actually feel it as well. Okay, this is why people say affirmations don't work. Empty affirmations don't work. Embodied affirmations do work. So when you can say something that you can get your energy behind. So if it feels not embodied, if you can't get your energy behind saying like, oh my God, aren't you just like the hottest thing in the world, right? Like when you first wake up and you're like, your eyes are puffy or whatever. If you can't say that, what can you say that you can get your energy behind? Just like, I love you. Let's have a good fucking day today, right? Like whatever you can that's positive and uplifting and loving towards yourself. This is also the time when I will usually put on my crystals, my crystal jewelry. I charge my crystal jewelry on a selenite plate in my bathroom while I sleep at night. So they're all charged, they're ready to go. I will usually put them on at this time, and I do so pretty intuitively. So I'll kind of reach for the energy that I feel like I need that day, or even if I'm not as familiar with a crystal, but I'm just intuitively thinking about that crystal or that jewelry piece. Again, I have like a huge collection from being the owner of Arcanum Life. So I have quite a few to pick from. So even if I'm not very familiar with the crystal, but I've just been thinking about that necklace for some reason, I'll put that on. I'll just let my energy kind of align to whatever that is that day. I will usually do this at this time, or I do this later, and I'll get to that point after I've meditated and I'm kind of like aware of the energetic support that I need that day. And if I'm specifically aware of an energetic support that I need that day, I will reach for crystals that I know are going to be supportive for that. So let's say that I'm really needing some like self-love and I'm feeling a little bit low on that, I'm going to definitely reach for anything that's rose quartz, garnet, carnelian, or any like other heart chakra stones. Next, I go downstairs. Okay, so this is all happening pretty quick. This is within minutes. I go downstairs and I get my coffee and my greens. I look forward to this every single day. Something about like making my coffee and making my green juice. It just brings me, it's just like, yes, a new day has begun. You know what it is? It's so funny speaking this now because it's the anchor. It's the anchor that I have created with this, because what I do while I do this is, one, I watch my mind. So I'll just kind of like see what's coming up. I'll see if like my brain's trying to go somewhere. Maybe like I'm starting to think something about myself, or like a limiting belief might pop up. I'll just kind of like watch and observe my mind and kind of give myself that space to be like, what's going on up there today? And I will also think really positive thoughts. So this is space and time that's quiet. I have, there's like nothing going on. There's no music playing. It's just quiet. So it's a great time, like I said, to watch my mind, or to just continue to charge my energy with some positive thoughts about myself, about the day, anything that I'm kind of working through. So for example, if I'm in a season of really working through like my self-worth, this is going to be a time where I'm just like hyping myself up, talking to myself about my self-worth, about how great I am, about how great I'm going to be, at work today, and with the things that I have to do today and things that I get to do today and my capabilities, and just like give myself that positive energy boost, all in alignment towards what I am ultimately manifesting. And like I said, after you do this for a while, those things are at the top of your mind. Like it's a part of your routine. It becomes like an anchor. It becomes automatic for you. So makes sense why I feel so good and like look forward to this part of my day. Or it's a time for me to watch my mind and, like I said, notice what's kind of going on up there and shift. make shifts. So if I catch myself with a limiting thought, a limiting belief, if I catch myself being like, oh, I'm not that good. I'm not good enough, right? Like, oh, like I have to work on this thing today, but I don't feel like I'm good enough for it. I will watch that curiously. I'm watching my brain. I'm noticing the feelings, and I will let this kind of play out. I'll let it be felt, and then I will begin to shift it. So I begin to do the work right there of transmuting and shifting this energy, already beginning to kind of move my mind in a new direction. This is different than toxic positivity, okay? This isn't just being like, nope, that's not true. You're the best, right? No, that's not gonna work. It's more kind of like, think of yourself as like a loving friend, or think of your inner child as the person that's saying that, because honestly, it is. It's like that hurt part of you that has those limiting beliefs or feelings. So the higher self, the higher mind, I kind of let her speak to this inner child part of me that like, this is just programming and like limiting beliefs and stuff that's like outdated and just stuck in there from past traumas and things. It's not actually my truth. It's not actually me. And so I will just kind of allow a perspective shift to occur. I'll allow a higher guidance to kind of move me into a new feeling. Now, this doesn't always magically resolve whatever might be coming up. So we're about to go into what I do after this, and depending on kind of like where I'm at mentally, and it's okay that sometimes we're not always perfectly like everything's great and I'm the best. Like, it's okay. That's a part of our soul's journey here, are to learn the lessons to grow and evolve. So no matter where you are in your spiritual journey, you're going to have lessons to grow and evolve. And you can start to actually get excited about it and be like, ooh, I'm up leveling right now because there's like shit coming up for me. So, you know, like I just got to that level. I was cruising. Things were good. My mindset was good. But like things are starting to come up. That's because new layers are now coming up for you to heal, or new things that maybe you were blind to previously, unaware of. And so it's not something to think like I must be doing something wrong, right? It's literally what we're here to do, and just embrace it and embrace whatever season it is that you're at with your mindset, with your energy. And this is why that flexibility in the routine is also so important, because rather than being like, this is what I journal on every single day, I'm able to move with myself depending kind of like on what season I'm in. So after I get my coffee, I get my greens. Now I read and journal. This is also just like a part of my day that I look forward to every single day. Making reading a part of my day every single day has just been like a game changer for me. And I used to kind of like, that would be the first thing that I would cut out. If I didn't have time for things, I'd cut out reading. And it is such a cup filler for me. It is just, it's so important for me. Now, granted, there are those days, like I said, where maybe my brain is like, go, 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 go. And I just have so much trying to pour through me that I don't really want to put more in. I don't want more input. And my body, my soul is just craving output. Like I'm craving working on scale. I'm craving scripting out the outline for a podcast episode, or even sharing on stories with you guys. Like if I'm craving pouring out, I will let myself pour out. I no longer tell myself like, no, that's not the way. I have to fill my cup first and I have to do all these things. Like if intuitively I'm craving it, why the fuck wouldn't I, right? This isn't most days. Now, let me say that's not most days, but it happens. Most days, I do like to start my day with filling my cup, reading, just like putting in positive inputs that aren't just coming from me. Because that can also be exhausting when you're the one that's being positive and coming up with, you know, thinking all the things. So it's really nice for me to have a positive book that I can plug into and receive from as well. So maybe that's like an Abraham Hicks book or a Ram Dass book or anything else that I'm interested in learning about right now. Currently, one of the books that I'm reading is, it's called and that's just like a fun, easy read for me as well. So sometimes if I don't want to go into the spiritual realm and like how energetics work, and I don't want to like go super deep, like I'm feeling like that's, because you guys, sometimes that's too much for me too. Sometimes I'm like, I need a motherfucking break. I'll find something else that I'm interested in. It just so happens that all my interests are still somehow like spiritual in some way. And so I'll find like a lighter read, which this book is. So I've been enjoying that as well. And also sometimes I will feel like I can't take any input because I need to pour out, but not to the world, not like my golden honey, juicy sap medicine pouring out, but more like I need a fucking journal on some shit right now. Okay. So that's usually when, like I said, maybe I'm making my greens, I'm making my coffee, and my brain is like kind of like bringing something up for me. It's just getting a little dark and fuzzy and weird in there. That's usually the days where I might be like, I need a journal right now. Like, I don't feel like reading. I just want to get straight to my journal. Or sometimes I'll flip-flop them. Okay. So sometimes I'll journal, sometimes I'll read. I'm just giving you all the details here. Again, I move with intuition here, but on most days, I'd say 80% of the time I read and then I journal. What do you journal on, you may ask? I am so glad you asked. I like to journal on 2 things very regularly and then a third, but we'll get into that. So self-concept and identity work. One of the key things that I journal on. Next is my manifestation. So like my scripting or even just writing out my goals, bringing it all top to mind. Why do I do these things? Again, like I said in the very beginning of this episode, why it's all important is because I am creating this laser focus. So when I'm doing the identity and self-concept work, I'm reminding myself, creating this laser focus of who I am now, what I believe about myself, how I show up, the energy I'm showing up in. I am hyping myself up. I am helping myself every single day deepen into this belief of this is who the fuck I am more and more and more, and proving it to myself more and more and more. In the coming podcast episodes over the next month or so, we're going to dive into a lot of self-concept. So I'm going to put a pin in that for now. Know that we will be circling back to that in the coming episodes. So don't worry. And then of course with scripting or writing out my goals, I'm creating that laser focus of what am I working towards? What is the North Star vision? And scripting is so powerful. I could make like an entire episode about the power of scripting, about how to script. We can definitely go into that, but it's aligning to your manifestations, aligning to the vision, aligning to what you are manifesting, your dream life vision right now. Even if that's, for example, in my situation right now, my dream life vision is very, I want to say like available to me right now. A lot of it, of course, there's the other things like traveling the world constantly and building my house in Costa Rica that I want to build, and all of these things that I am still manifesting, or other things that I want to, success that I want to achieve with my career and so on. But I will even script out like how I want to be living my life, and these things are attainable for me now, and just the energy that I move through, or how I feel, how I be, how I show up for my work. I'll script these sort of things out, and it also helps me to just move in alignment for the rest of my day. You may want to script on your all around like goals and manifestations, like that big picture dream life that you're manifesting. You may even want to script out the day that you're about to have today, or a scenario that you want to manifest. You get to make this your own, but this is just a time for me to tap into what it is that I'm manifesting. It's a way for me to visualize. Scripting is essentially a form of visualization. The third thing that I will do in my journal, as I mentioned, if there is something that's really taking up mind space for me, if I'm waking up in a funk, or if there's like that limiting belief coming up, I will use this time in my day to work through something. So I really shift and juggle my routine around depending on like what season of life I'm in. Is everything good and great and I'm just like guns a-blazing moving towards my vision? Or is there kind of stuff coming up and am I in a season of kind of facing some reflections and challenges and things that I need to work through? There's enough anchor points throughout my day and throughout my routine that I get enough of everything in that if I need to spend that whole journaling time not, scripting or working on my identity, but more working through something, I will. The powerful thing with this as well is that as I work through something, I tend to go into this flow of free writing and channeling, and higher self comes through and creates this sort of perspective shift for me anyways, where I end up moving into the positive. So it doesn't feel like I'm just soaking in the negative. I always make sure that I do have a shift of my energy before I go on throughout the rest of my day. So whether it happens here in the journal or in the next part that we're about to go into, I make sure that like when I go into my day, I'm having this shift of energy. I create this container for me to work through the shit, but I don't need to carry the shit into the rest of my day. I can, close it, tie it in a bow, do techniques, do things that I know that support me to shift my energy so that I can show up in my best possible energy as my best self, be productive in my day ahead, and know that tomorrow or this evening or whenever's the next right time for me to dive into maybe the shadow that I'm working through, I have that time. And especially because I've done this for so long, that's a promise that I know is kept within myself. It's not that I'm telling myself, okay, we're gonna come back to this later, and then we don't come back to it for like weeks, right? It's like I can come back to it tomorrow. I can come back to it tonight if I need to. But I do like to set myself up to be productive every single day. So if I'm, having these like big like limiting beliefs or shadows come up, we contain them. We contain them. That is a whole thing that we talk about in Scale as well. Next thing that I do is I go into my meditation room, and this is when I do a bit of nervous system regulation, meditation. Meditation has become huge for me. Huge. Meditation used to be something that, honestly, meditation was my gateway to all of this that I do. It was like I found meditation accidentally when I was 18 and had like crazy experiences with it, and it just opened me to all of this stuff. But sometimes I would go through seasons of life where I'm like, okay, I'll meditate for 10 minutes. But like going into the void, being able to get into a void space and meditation is where it's at for me. It is, again, one of those like most cup filling things that I can do for myself. And I find it to be a requirement, so necessary before I do this kind of work. I just meditated for like 30 minutes probably before I hit record on this camera right now. So like it's my shit, and that's a whole thing we can go into. I will meditate, I'll work through nervous system regulation, I'll do certain techniques. Like I said, maybe I need to like do some EFT tapping because I'm really wanting to shift this energy before I get into the rest of my day, or some sort of somatic processing, which is another huge like chef's kiss thing that I have been adoring in this season of life, somatic processing work. This is also where I do my energetic hygiene. So imagine like a shower for your energetic body. This is when I will do it. If not, for some reason at this time, because the next thing that I move into is movement. If like from meditation, or from somatic processing, I just kind of start to go into movement, I will do my energetic hygiene before I start work. But the important thing to note is that I do it, okay? And especially with my work being like online and putting my energy out there and being like an open energy source where people can like watch my video at any time, or like see my TikTok at any time, or find my Instagram at any time, or listen to my podcast at any time. It's really important for me to have like energetic protection and energetic hygiene. So whether it's right before I like log on, get on my phone, start working, start pouring that golden honey juice, right? Like whether I'm working on a podcast episode or I'm working on a course, it always happens at some point before I start working. So if not during meditation, before I start working. And if I haven't looked at my Scale playbook earlier in the morning, this is when I will do that as well while I am in the meditation room meditating. Then I move into movement. Again, this is not perfect. I don't get this every single day. Also, movement for me, sometimes I might be sore and I might be like, nope. But I love intuitive movement. So even if it's just like a couple cat cows, like a downward dog, rolling my neck, just like kind of like moving my spine and my hips, that can be enough for me on some days for sure. And then also, like I mentioned, I really work to be more intuitive as well. So I will sometimes do movement in the morning. Maybe I'll even wake up and immediately go to a class, or I'll do movement like midday, or even at night. I actually got really into, right before I moved, working out around like 4 or 5 at night. And it just kind of like gave me a new life to my day. I still love that kind of routine, which is crazy because I was always a workout in the morning person, but I love the way that like I could be dead tired at 4 p.m. and then I go work out and it's like I had a brand new day. So movement falls into my life some way, somehow, every single day, but sometimes it's as small as just like a couple stretches. Next, I shower and get ready, and this is feminine energy time for me. So really just in that intuitive embodiment, sensual flow, doing the things that feel really good to me, really good to my feminine, enticing my senses. So whether that's like with really good smelling body washes or perfumes, lotions, skincare, like taking the time to really nurture myself and my feminine. And depending on the vibe that day, I'll either listen to really vibey music, and like, I don't use the word vibey for no reason. I truly mean like, think like music that just kind of makes you want to like move like snaky, like, do you know what I mean? Like hip circle kind of like type beat, you know? So vibey music, again, that just gets me kind of like into my sensual, creative, like kundalini energy. Or I will listen to a podcast or a course if I'm like feeling educational and like I want to learn something. Or I will also use this time as just intentional space to talk to my angels, my guides, be receptive, listen to whatever guidance or inspiration comes my way. Okay, quick note here. And my boyfriend really did not want me to mention this. He actually asked me when he came and helped me set this up if I was going to mention this. And I said I might. And he got all mad. So I'm going to skim over it, but we're going to talk to him. And I think we should have a whole episode on this. I think like us girls, like we need to talk about this. And I have to be real. I have to keep it real with you, like what I do. A big thing for me in the morning, and it doesn't fall in at this time, but I just wanted to like make sure that like you're a real one if you're going to hear this part, is self-love. Like that kind of self-love. Like, you know what I'm saying? That kind of self-love is huge for me. It's a huge manifestation, spiritual connection, self-worth, self-value practice for me. It's huge for me. So that usually falls in somewhere in my morning routine as well. And I think we need to talk more about like the divine feminine energy awakening and honoring and embracing. And that's definitely something I want to share with you guys more this season on the podcast. So that's where we'll leave that for now, but just know like I got you. We need to go deeper. We need to talk. We need to have girl talk. And after all of that, my workday begins. And so if you are interested as well in hearing about my workday routine, I can definitely do a whole episode on that and get into the details, the rituals, and all the things that I do to set myself up for major success every single day in my workday. But we are already divinely at my time of recording this, 1 hour and 11 minutes, naturally, of course we are. So we're gonna wrap this one up here. As I mentioned, we are going to dive a lot more into self-concept and more masculine and feminine energetics coming up very soon on the podcast in the next few weeks. This is going to be a big theme that we're diving into over the month of like August and September, leading us into the Scale launch that I am planning on opening. So I'm planning on launching and opening a new cohort for Scale. It would be late September / early October. I'm again letting the feminine guide me in this. I'm going to be traveling mid-September through October, and so I'm going to feel into if I want to launch while I'm away, which is really like feeling juicy and good and fun for me, or if I want to launch when I get back home. But regardless, you guys know that I love a good masterclass challenge before every course launch. I just think that for one, it gets the students that are enrolling in the course like fired the fuck up and just ready to go. And that energy that it brings into the course is just unbeatable. So I love it for my students. And then I love it as just a free offer, even if you've already been in the course, or if you are, you know, like new here and you're like feeling things out, or you want to get into Scale one day, but now isn't the time. I love to give for you guys in that way. And I just think it's a fun way for us to connect, to do a challenge together. And it just juices everyone up and gets everyone's fire going, whether you're enrolling in the cohort or not. So we will definitely be diving into that very soon, because as I said, for sure we're launching sometime late September, early October. And the whole challenge that I'm kind of dreaming up right now is around self-concept. And then I also do want to touch on some masculine feminine dynamics, just because that is such a big part of scale as well. And this leads me as well into a little announcement that I want to actually save for another podcast episode to go fully into, because I don't want to make this episode too long. But a lot of you guys have been asking me about when Align and Attract is launching next. I had told you guys that I would launch Align and Attract before I launch Scale, but as you know, as I just said, Scale is launching first. There is something big coming for Align and Attract, for Arcanum Academy as a whole, that I am so excited. Like, I can't even contain it. I'm so excited to share this with you and to announce what's to come for the future of Align and Attract. But you're gonna have to wait. For now, know that Scale is launching. You can get on the wait list. And if you're like, okay, but I really want to get into Align and Attract, go ahead and get on the Align and Attract waitlist as well. I will link it down below for you. Get on the waitlist and you will be notified with the updates soon. But Scale is launching first. So if you want to join a cohort with me, Scale is incredible. I am blown away by the updates that Scale has gone through, the makeover, the like puberty she's gone through. Like, she has grown up. She has become a woman. Like, Scale was amazing before, life-changing for people before. I just got a DM yesterday, this girl saying she's launching her business that she built from both Align and Attract and Scale. And I get so many messages of people manifesting insane results, businesses, success, up levels from Scale all the time. This cohort is just like killing it as well. I can't wait to share their success stories with you guys. So be sure to get on the waitlist for Scale. I would love to have you in there. Like I said, especially if you're someone who wants to live this aligned, intuitive, magic, juicy filled life, but you have big dreams. Like, you want to start a business, like many of my students in Scale are. So many entrepreneurs, so many, we have even like dancers, singers, actresses, people doing huge things in the world that I'm just blown away by, and just so honored and proud that I get to lead you guys through this process. As I was saying, the original Scale was amazing, incredible results from that. But this new Scale is, I mean, out of this world. Insane, incredible. I am so excited to be able to share it with the world. That's part of the inspiration of wanting to get it out now in the fall, is the updates are just so incredible that I want all of you to be able to experience it. I know you guys have been seeing me like post on my stories, sharing the behind the scenes as I've been building it with this current cohort for months now. And so I want to give you the opportunity to get in and experience it for yourself. So get on the wait list. I hope to see you there. And with that, I will see you next week in the next episode. I'm really being consistent, you guys. I'm proud. Oh, and also I will tag all of the Arcanum Life jewelry I am wearing in the links below. I have the rapture rings, I have my bracelets, and I have this new portal clasp. Also, I believe I'm wearing Demigod and a Moldavite today. I will link it all down below for you. How about we comment should we just throw it back to the cherry? Let's comment a cherry if you made it this far. Let me know your takeaways, share them on your stories, DM me. I can't wait to hear your thoughts about this episode. Let me know if you do want me to make that corporate baddie manifestation daily routine type beat episode for you guys as well. I'd be happy to do that. And finally, with that, I am sending you so much love and so much good fucking energy. I will see you next time. Bye.